was not a trick. Talon is actually on the way to retailers. This is the final version, retail version of Talon, fully packaged, ready to go, coming to you. And because of that, I can now do a full review on it. The test shot I had a while back was really not, it really wasn't up to like review standards because it was really loose. It was just kind of to show off the combined mode. But now we have the final version, and I will compare it to the test shot here at the end, just to show you some of the differences that are made between the final and now. This is a weird pose for him a little bit with the guns and the knives on there, and I got his wings folded up so they'll fit on frame. You can, this is just to show you where some of this stuff stores. You can actually fold this stuff up and make it not as visible in bird mode. And he's kind of standing in a weird position, but I did want to show off that he's fully capable of standing on just his little birdie feet. The test shot was not. He does come in his standard, the standard reformatted packaging now, the nice box with the magnetic window, the art inside there. As well as you get the instruction manual. Let me get this back down here. The instruction manual, and in the instruction manual you'll see these little pieces. There are 2 sets of elbows. Should you still need to replace the elbows on your Fortis and Bovis, there are replacement elbow pieces in here. If that little cosmetic issue is bugging you, they should be all fixed. Should be fine. Just pop the pins out, replace the parts, and you're good to go. So now on to Talon himself. He is the bird that we all expect. And he's a little. It's not a perfect bird, but you know, neither was the original dive bomb. So yeah. But he's got a little mouth that opens. They did paint the underside of the head, so that hides a lot better in alt mode as well. Again, we'll show that off. His mouth does open. You can get a little birdie beak going. There's guns here. If you don't want those deployed, you can fold those back or up in bird mode if you don't want to have them use them. So some guns right there. A rifle right here on top, the sniper, and you can store it a little further back. It depends on how aggressive you want him to look, but it does plug in there. You can plug this down here if you want. You can plug it back here. However you want to, so it's not facing forward. However you want to display it. He does have storage for the sniper rifle on the backpack, and then you just flip that around to extend it into the full rifle mode. He's got his 2 daggers, which can store here on the wings, just kind of like the little guns that he came with originally. You don't, and again, you can fold those along the wing. You don't have to have them sticking up like that. I was just making it easy to show off where everything goes there in the bird mode. Also, the sword pieces from Talon, they did fix the wings so that utilizing these peg holes up here and these slots right here, these extra sword handles in robot mode from Leo ducks that didn't really have a place to go. You just peg. There's 1 peg on each side up here. You just peg one of these little tabs and then these pegs down here into here. So you just peg it on. And he can store these as turbines on his wings. You could, I guess, you actually have to go. They have to face this way because of how they peg in. But you can store those as turbines on his wings in robot mode. Somebody asked if they can also fit on the underside of the wings, and they cannot because that molding isn't on this side of the wing. Although, if you wanted to like knock the pin out and swap the wing halves, you could certainly flip those around so those ended up on the underside of his wings in bird mode. But yeah, so he can store those up there, which is kind of cool. So yeah, he's got his claws, like I said, unlike the original, his claws are actually get a pretty good grip. They ratchet here and here. Give us including the paint is much nicer here on the thighs. And again, we'll get into a lot of the paint differences from the original when we get to robot mode. There's a lot more to point out there and a lot more visible. But yeah, all in all, it's a bird mode. It's like I said, it's not any more or less of a bird than any other version of dive bomb that's out there. He does have that very impressive wingspan, and it is about 18 inches if you have them straight out like this. If you have them straight out to the sides, it is about an 18-inch wingspan. I haven't taken a ruler to it and measure it, but it's a nice, big, impressive wingspan. Now, normally, if you have them in Predator King mode, you'll probably have them, to make them a little bit more visible, you'll probably have them up and angled a little bit like that. And then it's like, obviously, at that point, it's not quite as... Actually, you know, depending on how far you bring these up, it doesn't, just at a slight angle, it doesn't shorten it by too much. So it really all depends on how you display these in combined mode and how wide the wings get. But it's entirely up to you. It does expand to a very impressive wingspan there. Let me see if I can actually just lay this down and just to give you an idea of how wide that is. So yeah, and the wings, you can leave them on for transformation to robot mode. They do pop off to combine onto Feral Rex, and they do so via the port on the back. It also lets them plug into the back of, man, I've really got them on there tight this time, of Tigress and Leo ducks as well. Obviously on Leo ducks because for the combined mode. Pop those off in a minute. So yeah, I'll go ahead and transform him. You want to bring the legs down. You want to rotate the waist around like this. Open up these panels right here. And fold the leg down around. The claws fold up like that. And then the middle one folds down. They did leave the gray feet on here, which I like. I know some people complain that it blended into the combined mode hand too much. And now that they're a little tighter, it's not as big of a deal. You can fold them up in a way that they don't get right up onto the fist. But I really like that. I really think it gives them a lot more contrast here as like a knee armor versus the solid black. Or even a much darker gray. Like a gray in between this and black probably would have been okay as well. But I like the bright gray knees. So, personal preference, but yeah. These panels, just like on the others, come out and around to the side. And again, you can store the daggers here in robot mode as well, if you choose. The arms, you unpeg them from under here, and then you untab them. This tab right here plugs into the arm up here. And that gives you a little bit more freedom of movement. And then the fists flip out. Just like that. The head flips down. Now the problem was there was a delay with the head, and obviously as you see it didn't delay it too much. Where there's something wrong with the molding, where right up in here on the test shots, there's like a little tiny pinhole that was not filling in for whatever reason. That's clearly been fixed. It's not there anymore. I don't see any even evidence of it starting to happen there. So that got fixed. It's something that when you flip this down was probably going to be hidden anyway, but you know, why not take the time to fix it? Okay, let me get him standing up. And focus up on the upper body. So there's his head, and then the wings you can kind of fold. Again, the wings you can position however you want. I like to have them back a little bit more, but you can fold them down. You can fold them down like a cape if you want to do that. Fold them kind of in and around him, like a sniper nest. We've seen him kind of using it as cover. I like to have it more as a cape. This comes down, and straighten the feet out. With the wings tilted back, it does make them a little back heavy. You just got to find the right. There we go. Find the right support position. His head is on a ball joint up here, which is nice. You can get some good positions out of it. Yeah, I really dig his head. The arms ratchet here. Ratchet here. There's a bicep swivel. There's double hinged elbows. He does have a wrist swivel. You don't get a whole lot of use of it going this way because of that forearm, but it is there. The guns, again, you can flip those up. If you don't want them to be deployed, you can flip them down. You can take them off and plug them under here if you choose. It's really up to you. The wings, obviously, have all the feathers have the same articulation as before. They're just pinned on, but they are nice and tight. They're not gonna, once you put them in position, they're not gonna change unless you move them. Come on. And of course, he's got his weapons. He can hold his daggers. You do kind of have to do a little bit of the standard, but they fixed they even fixed that on the test shot. Those go right in. Just kind of slide them in between his thumb and rotate it, and holds the daggers just fine in his hands, as well as the sniper rifle, which you can just kind of plug in from the top here. Come on out. Okay, getting the daggers out was the problem here. Let's say plug that in. That's the printer going, and you can give him a sniper rifle as well, and you can get you can do some cross-handled poses if you want. Get him down in some snipery. About to shoot somebody. Come on, stand. Come on. I ain't posing you for giggles here. Use the wing as support. Alright, get him some. I'm about to shoot somebody. Well, that didn't really scream shoot somebody, but you know, lots of posability there. Waist swivel, ratcheting hips, thigh swivel, knee, and then ball jointed ankle here. So you get a lot of good movement out of that out of the foot there. Getting back here into robot mode, and now so with some comparisons with the test shot. Boy, my tongue just did not want to work there. Comparisons with the test shot. You can see they have painted. Come on. They've painted the inside of this rear feather right here, so it's not as, both in arm mode and in robot mode, it kind of gives it a little bit more contrast versus making it a giant orange block here like you see on the test shot. So it's a little bit more contrast, makes the legs stand out a little bit more overall. The face is painted red versus the uncolored test shot, and again they painted the bottom of the head, so it blends in a lot better in alt mode. All the joints are a lot tighter. You can see I've got some paper in like here and the ankles because on the original test shot they were really, really loose. But again, that was a really early test shot from like almost a year ago, I think. So, so yeah, this is actually the V1 test shot here, like without any improvements or anything done to it, just straight up. That was one of the first ones they did. You also notice, like on the wings, the gold on the final version's wings is a much richer, yellower gold than the kind of champagne gold they used on the wings over here. It matches Leo and all the new gold they put on all the other figures, but they did fix that on the wings just so you can see a difference between the original and the new gold that they used, and there is a very distinct difference there. The talons obviously here are a little tighter. If you want to stand up, just I'm knocking you over. These little talons are loose on the test shot. A lot of it was just tightness issues. The mold itself really has, aside from again altering a little bit of the little pegs on the back to allow for the Leodux parts to attach, and just tightening joints and all that stuff. There really wasn't a whole lot of mold changes that went into this guy. The test shot, aside from some paint and some tightness, really isn't much removed. It doesn't feel like a completely different figure than some of the other changes made from the test shot. We'll go ahead and get him into arm mode here, and we'll show off how that all works. So now, obviously, you take once you have all the other combined mode guns together to form the base here, the sniper rifle, you fold this hinge up like that. I guess it could also be a scope for a shorter rifle if you wanted to as well. But you take this rifle, and then there's 2 peg holes here, and it fits right into both of them, just like that. And then you have the combined cannon there. I'll show off how to, I don't know if I've shown how to put all that all together, but we'll do that when Tigers comes out and his pistols join the fray. But yeah, there's the cannon. So to go into arm mode, you basically turn him back into bird mode. I'll flip his face up into the body there. There you go. You can fold that down a little bit. This is on a hinge, so you can fold the head wherever you want. That's mostly to get it out of the way of the hinge when it's in arm mode. Pop the wings off. There we go. And the wings, you can see, they peg in with these 4 pegs and this peg right into the back of Leodux. And I think I've shown that off before, so I didn't bring the whole combiner team in tonight. I will do that when Tigers comes out. I will do a whole redo the whole look at the combiner with all the final figures. But yeah, that comes off and that just pegs into the back of Leodux. And again, you can spread the feathers out however you want to give it a look. And again, you can position it this way however you want. So you flip the fist in, take these, peg this into here, and once that's done, there's a little peg here on the arm that pegs into the side of the body right here. And you can leave the guns up, you can fold them down. I generally like just to fold them around and back, although it's up to you, however you want to do it. Obviously, just to get them out of the way for arm mode. Rotate this around to the back, like that. And unpeg the legs. The feet, again, you fold the feet up, fold them around that hinge up, and then this tab right here goes into here. Same over here. And then fold these around to the back of the leg. Flip this up and around. Oh, make sure that goes all the way around to the back of the leg, or it will block that. Fold these in. You got the arm here. Just the hinge, open that, take the fist. Oh yeah, also the paint. There's paint along here on the inside of the legs, as well as here on the front of the robot mode leg that wasn't on the test shot. So plug that in. Snap them together. Should peg. There we go, just like that. Now, if you don't like these, you can actually fold this up a little bit so it doesn't get quite as in the way of the hand. It's entirely up to you. It does blend a little bit, but I don't mind it so much. You still got the whole range of movement of the hand. You can move those out of the way a little bit. So it's more like a cuff there. Yeah, just like that. There's arm mode, and then he's got. Actually, like I said, they really jacked up the ratchets here, so you can get a lot of good bendy movement out of the arm, and not have it sag. Which again was really more, like I said, again, the looseness issue was really more of the test shot. Now these two tabs on the top of the foot right here will allow you to take the two tabs here on the top of this and peg it right in here. And you can attach the gun to the arm. And that's really all there is to it. And then you just snap that. That'll plug into Leo Duke's, however you say it. He's got a port right there. He's got a port just like this, just like the arm comes in, and you just plug that on, and it gives you the arm motion. So yeah, there it is. There is the final version of Talon. He is on the way to stores right now. There is an arm mode. So soon, Feral Rexes will have arms all around the country and the world and all that stuff. I do think that Tigress and Talon, or Tigress and Felisaber, will all be on display at TFCon, so you can see the 6-mode configuration as well as the last two members. And Tigress is still on track for next month, so you should be seeing him soon as well, sometime in mid-August. But yeah, there's Talon, the latest member from Mastermind Creations' Feral Rex, their dive bomb analog, and like I said, they should be hitting retailers soon. They're on the way, so keep your eye out.